I'll ask Patrick Murray, our final speaker. Patrick is a retired U.S. Army colonel with 24 years of active service. Patrick spent over a decade in numerous postings abroad, including tours in Iraq, Kosovo, Bosnia, Serbia, and Russia. Serving around the world afforded him an up-close perspective of what it is like to live in places that do not enjoy the blessings of liberty. He does not take our freedoms for granted and knows firsthand that freedom isn't free. He was raised in Oklahoma by a single mother who taught him the importance of hard work, honesty, and self-reliance. He went to work at the age of 14 to help her pay bills at home. It was at the height of the Cold War, and Patrick followed world events closely. He developed a strong sense of patriotism and love of country as he watched the United States confront an oppressive Soviet Union around the world. He put himself through college with a combination of working part-time, student loans, and a stipend from the Veterans Administration owing to his father's World War II service. Patrick also felt drawn to military service and enrolled in the ROTC program at Oklahoma State University. Upon graduation, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant and was assigned to combat units on the east-west German border, then the frontier of freedom. After commanding tank units for 7 years, Patrick went on to become a foreign area officer in the Defense Intelligence Agency. He has extensive operational, analytical, and policy experience. A Russian speaker, Patrick has worked in various bilateral and multilateral international relations venues, foreign policy, political military affairs, arms control, and military-to-military relations. He has been a military attaché and has served in our embassies in Russia, Belarus, Bosnia, Yugoslavia, and Kosovo. In 2007, during the surge, Patrick deployed to Baghdad with the Joint Forces Command, where he served as part of the multinational forces Iraq. His final tour of duty was at the United Nations in New York as a member of the U.S. Military Staff Committee. Patrick resides in Alexandria, Virginia. Please welcome Patrick Murray.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dan, thank you all. Thanks to the Springfield Chamber for inviting us here tonight. It's a pleasure and an honor for an opportunity to get up and chat with you. You heard my background is in the armed services. I hung up my uniform last year for the last time, but I'm still very committed to serving this greatest of nations. Now, to that end, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're in trouble. And I think a large cause of that trouble is that we have a number of individuals in Congress who are addicted to spending your taxpayer dollars and who are committed to saying and doing just about anything in order to get reelected. And I think that that has to change. I believe that my opponent for the last 20 years has been at the core of that. Mr. Moran spends your taxpayer dollars quite freely. And what has it gotten us? Let's just review the bidding after 20 years. Well, we know we have deficits as far as the eye can see. Unemployment isn't going down, it's going up. Last week, 9.6%. Have you seen new home starts? They're at the lowest rate since they've been recording them. New car sales, lowest in decades. And ladies and gentlemen, we have $13 trillion of debt. You know what? We don't have a deficit problem. We have a spending problem. And what you heard from my opponent up here just a while ago is more spending. What is the government going to do? I think the government needs to get out of your way, because I think this is the engine of the American economy. 6 out of the last 7 recessions we came out of from small business. Small business creates 2 out of 3 jobs that pull us out of recessions. We didn't hear anything about the issue of 1099s that we got from healthcare that you all are going to have to deal with. You know who that creates jobs for? The IRS. The IRS is bringing on 16,000 new agents to deal with that, and they've already said they don't even know how they're going to deal with the 1099 issue. You need, what I think you all need. I've been out talking, walking through this district, listening to and talking with constituents. In fact, yesterday we had a nice small business roundtable over at Alexandria because my background is the military and I need to learn from you all, and I've learned a great deal. And what I've heard is that you all need certainty. You need to be able to plan. You need to know when the next shoe is going to drop, if it's going to drop. What's going to happen with cap and trade? What's going to happen with all of the other issues that are going to come up? The tax rates, the highest tax increase in history is about to happen on the 1st of January next year. I know that a lot of you all, as small business owners, pay your taxes at that $250,000 level. And we hear, oh, it's all on the richest Americans. Well, it's actually on small business owners. How do you expand your business? How do you hire new people? I was down in Mount Vernon the other day in a strip mall, talked to a woman who owns a hair salon. She said, Patrick, I've got the clientele. I'd like to put in a new chair. I'd like to hire a new hairdresser, a couple of new people to do shampoos. I'm not going to do it. My insurance premiums are going up 20 or 30% right now. We don't know where it's going to stop. I don't know how many taxes I'm going to be paying. I don't know what the future holds. That comes from the federal government. That comes from Congress. And ladies and gentlemen, it has to stop. And that's why I'm running for Congress. That's why I got out of the Army. I decided I was tired of complaining about it, and I was going to try to do something about it. And by the way, Dan, you mentioned what you all are doing for veterans, and I very much appreciate that. You know, our veterans coming home, 18 through 25-year-old veterans, have an unemployment rate about 6 points higher than their civilian counterparts. And you won't find better employees, ladies and gentlemen, than United States military veterans. So I encourage you to look into hiring them. Let me just wrap up by saying this. We have what I think is a very simple choice. If you think that if you're happy with the direction in which we're going, if you're okay with the debt, taxes continuing to go up, government solutions to everything, and points where we just, in terms of taxes going up, as well as the health care and everything else, then I agree. I think you should support my opponent, Mr. Moran. But ladies and gentlemen, there's a better way. And if you think there's a better way, and you'd like to have government get out of the way and have pro-growth and pro-regulatory policies, then I would ask for your support on November the 2nd, when we can begin to take our country back and then move forward into a new century. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and God bless the United States.